So today's question from my followers comes from Simon van Heerden, and he asks about the idea that you are the sum total of the five people you spend the most time with. So if you want to spend time with better people, how do you meet them? Like, how do you get to know the people you want to be like and associate with? And it's a really good and really difficult question to answer. I know a lot of startup founders, a lot of business people will go to networking events and try and connect with people there. I struggle to make genuine, legitimate, real connections at networking events. Everyone is looking for something. It's very much a quid pro quo kind of situation. So you go there expecting people to bombard you with requests for stuff. So I think that it's worth going to those, but the key trick there is don't be the person who asks for things. Meeting someone for the first time and asking them for something is just never going to work. They feel put out. You feel like you're this awkward guy or woman asking for something, and it just doesn't work. What I think the thing that I try and remember is, regardless of who the person is that I'm trying to meet, they're just a regular person. And they're also feeling awkward and uncomfortable in networking environments. So they're just wanting to make a real connection. So start by asking them really simply to tell you something about themselves. I tend not to ask that standard question, hey, so what do you do? Because then you're forcing that person to tell you about their work. And they might hate their work. They might not like their job at all. So I tend to ask a more broad question that goes as follows. Tell me about yourself. And then you give them the freedom to tell you about their kids or their pets or their hobbies or anything they're interested in. And then the key thing is remember stuff. You're not going to make a good second impression if you don't remember the person's name. I'm notoriously bad at remembering people's names, so I've just gotten over that fact. And now I just say to people, hey, I'm really sorry. I know we've met. Remind me what your name is. And then we get over it and move on. That's my own burden to bear. Hopefully you're better at remembering names than I am. So that's the first thing, is if you're going to networking events to meet people that you want to be like or associate with, try not to ask them for something. The next thing that I do is very brazen. I very often will just contact people that I think I could learn from and say to them, hey, I think I can learn from you. Do you have time for me? And it's up to them to say yes or no. They don't owe you anything. You should not be demanding anything from them. The number of people that are angry with me when I can't give them my time is surprising. I don't owe you anything. So I think it's kind of a one-way thing, is you want something from them. So in a polite way, ask them if they've got time to help you. And over time, you build up a relationship. But bringing people into your circle, whether it's colleagues, friends, advisors, mentors, is not a simple thing. And it takes time. And that's the overwhelming advice that I have for improving or increasing your network to be ambitious, successful people, is to do it over time. That's the only way that this works. Genuine, real relationships take a decade to build. And I have people in my network that I've never asked anything for, even though they could be really helpful to me, because I think that there is a real relationship to be had. So instead of asking them for a short-term win, I'm just there and I offer them as much value as possible. And then the final thing is exactly that, offer as much value as possible. You're going to attract people into your network when you provide value to your network. If you're constantly negative, if you're constantly asking for stuff, if you're constantly just shaming and bad-mouthing, being a mean kind of person, you're not going to attract that kind of good person into your life. So from a business perspective, offer value, and more than likely you're going to get people who want to give you value back and want to associate with you. So that kind of embodies be the kind of person that you want to attract. The old Madiba saying, be the change you want to see in the world. Will be like the people you want to surround yourself with, and the chances are you'll start to move in circles that are like those people's circles. So there you go. That's how I would suggest you improve or increase the value and the level of person that is in your network. I think that this is an underrated thing. We all just associate with the people we've always associated with, in spite of them potentially being negative for us. The people in your life should always add to your life. They should never subtract from your life. Even when they need stuff from you, we like to feel needed. They should be needing from you in a good way. So that's the advice that I have. Hopefully it's helpful. And this has been another episode of answering questions from my followers. More to come.